But the fact was, I was at a Christmas party that Diana invited me to at Kensington Palace, and the only other person I knew there was Elton. And William came up to me. The two of them came up to me, but William asked me, and he said, "Would it be okay if you sang a song and maybe Uncle Elton could play the piano?" And I just can't deal with singing in front of small crowds. So I had to say no, and it was, it was excruciating. He was very polite about it, but I was thinking, I can't believe I've just said no to probably, the future King of England. But I really was too embarrassed to sing in front of strangers, and But I remember that. I remember that night very, very well.
George, I mean, have you had any contact with the Palace in relation to this song that you've done?
Only through a mutual friend who gave me. I gave him the name of the song that I was going to sing, and asked him at least to run it by them, because if I was going to make a present, a wedding gift of it, I thought, there's no point if it's a song they don't like. So I ran the song by them. And while I was doing the vocal the other day, I got a text from our mutual friend who basically said they loved the song, and that they'd be happy for you to go ahead with it. So, and also the main thing about doing the song as a gift for them, it's not just a gift for them, it's a gift that they will be able to hopefully turn into many, many donations for the Royal Charity, the Royal Wedding Charity Fund.org. That is, which is where they've asked people to give money rather than send presents or of any description. I don't know if that includes all the people at the actual wedding. I don't know if they've given up their toasters and their, the wedding list, as it were. But it seems very generously that they have, yeah. So anyway, I would really like for any of my fans or anybody who really enjoys this track, if they're going to download it for free, which is absolutely what I want them to do, I would love them to go to Kate and Williams' charity site and make a donation, if they're genuinely happy for these two people, which I think a lot of people are,
So George, obviously the whole world will be watching this wedding in a couple of weeks. What do you think it means for Britain and indeed for the royal family that they have such global attention?
I think well, there are two things about this wedding. I think one, it kind of reaffirms that people have no real intention of trying to get rid of them, which is great. And the other thing is, I think it really shows how romantic we still are. I mean, especially in such a dreadful time. There's so many terrible things going on at the moment. So many people struggling in this country and many other countries. But the idea of 2 4-day holidays, because you have to understand, if you don't live in England, that we have 2 4-day holidays with 3 days of work in between just about to happen in England, which has never happened, I think, Piers, in my history. What about you? What about you?
No.
Do you remember that time? Was there ever a time in this? No? I think people are going to go crazy. I really do. Yeah. I can think of a lot of people who'll be taking 3 days off in a couple of weeks' time.
Tell me, George, obviously you knew Diana better than many people. What do you think she would have made of Kate, who obviously she never got the chance to meet?
I think she probably would have thought there was no woman good enough for her son, probably like most women, but I think she probably would have loved him, wouldn't she?
Yeah, I think so. I think she seems a very sweet girl, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think she seems very sweet, and she's also she's a cracker, isn't she? She's great looking. She's great looking. I think the boy done well.
I didn't know you noticed things like that, George.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
We're going to put at the end of the show the details of exactly how everyone watching and your fans back in England in particular can listen to the song and then hopefully make donations to the charity. It obviously means a lot to you that you've done this. Yeah. I'm sure it will to William and Kate. I mean, what kind of message would you give to the pair of them on the big day when it comes up?
Oh, I think they should. I don't think they need any advice from me, do you? I think the message I would give is that I'm just incredibly happy for both of them, and more than anything, there was I have quite an emotional attachment to what's going on here, because I felt so badly for those boys when she passed away, and having experienced losing my mother about 3 or 4 months before that, that day was very, very strange for me. And also, when I think of the devastation of losing my mother, the idea of going through that when you're not even into your teens, or you're barely into your teens, is just, yeah, words can't describe how much admiration I have for the way that they've both coped with it, and especially when, you know, the media has made it so much more difficult for them. I'm just incredibly happy for incredibly happy for William, incredibly happy for his partner, and I'm absolutely sure that Diana would have loved the whole thing, you know, and I really hope that she would have loved this track. I have a feeling she would have done. She was a big fan, and she had a copy of Older, which is obviously an album about bereavement, about 4 or 5 months before it went out into the public eye, and she loved it. And I did once see a documentary where William was playing that album, which makes me think that he found it comforting. It was an album about bereavement, so I was very touched by that. The whole thing has kind of different levels of meaning for me, and I'm just incredibly happy that they're letting me actually, you know, have some part of the benefit site, the charity site, you know, or at least they're letting me share some of the attention for this amazing day in a way to raise money, you know, which is great.
Well, George, it's very exciting. I'm sure they're going to love it. We're going to come back at the end of the hour with the world premiere of your song for Prince William and Kate Middleton, and we're going to reveal what that song is. But coming up for now, the lovely Kim Cattrall.